Alright, we are live. Let's let the stream populate a little bit more. Morning. Oh my goodness. What in the world is happening, guys? Wow. Literally the whole market just bled a ton again. And I just woke up. It's like 6:30 a.m. in the morning. I was up at 6 a.m. I just had a weird feeling, guys. It's one of those feelings like, you just wake up. I mean, I wake up early in the morning anyway. Morning, everyone. Morning. RJ, Toad, what's up, guys? Wherever you are in the world, welcome to the stream. Morning, Lawrence. It looks bad. It looks bad, people. Okay, first and foremost, when I was looking at the news, right? Norek, morning, man. No, you guys who were awake, right? You all should kind of fill up the gap, let the old man know what has been happening. But of course, I had to catch up on my own, and I noticed that the market has bled yet another for BTC yet another 15%, right? And I think for a good reason, because I realized that Binance walked away from acquiring FTX. So I was like, oh, okay, that explains it, right? There's no savior. But, I kind of want to let you guys know why maybe it's a good thing. Okay, now hear me out. Hey, Chase, finally dropping lower. Yeah, it's okay. So it's definitely good news, right? Because suddenly the market becomes extremely attractive. Crypto having no way of determining any crypto project can tell you, and we all know that we cannot determine any kind of profitability of any crypto project other than an exchange, right? That being said, exchanges obviously are not doing very well this year. If you had purchased any kind of token on any particular exchange, for example, if you were with Voyager, BlockFi, if you bought Celsius tokens, they are now worth nothing, right? And you were trying your best to build try your best to build a portfolio in crypto. It's a little bit dark. Let me turn on the lights, guys. So you were trying to build your portfolio in crypto. You thought that you were trying to be smart. Okay, exchanges are the ones that, and it's the gateway to buying cryptocurrency. You buy your your exchange tokens, right? Only to have each and every single exchange default. Now, just yesterday, we were seeing Binance and CZ mentioning a non-binding deal, right, of planning to acquire FTX. But then that seems to not be the case anymore. You're seeing, for the fact that they are probably, after doing the quick due diligence, and it's just such a short time frame, they are walking away from the deal. Firstly, I feel that FTX has grown to a size because it is the second largest exchange, right, at the end of the day. And I think being the second largest exchange, and also for the fact why I suspect that they're walking away from the deal, is because this, to a certain extent, by the way, Binance is planning to buy FTX International, not Binance.us. Okay, but I feel that for a fact that there are too many US citizens potentially, using Binance, using FTX at this point of time, and to a certain extent, I don't think Binance wants to get entangled with having to deal with all those customers as well. I think this is what I suspect also. And at the same time, it puts Binance in a very unique position. They are going to eventually be the largest had they decided to acquire FTX. Now, of course, this is an ongoing thing, guys. Like yesterday, we had news that they would be acquiring and it would give some relief to the customers who were planning to withdraw. And, I do have friends who could not withdraw in time. Like, they could not withdraw in time to withdraw their funds from FTX. And it was very sad. I was like literally the whole day I was speaking to folks who were able to withdraw and their experiences, and then at the same time how they felt about crypto. At the same time, I was speaking to folks who couldn't withdraw, and some had a few $1,000 inside, some had maybe a few $100, but the whole experience to them was just very it was just very shocking, right? They were very shocked. Like they were thinking, how on earth can this thing happen? Hey, morning Adi, morning here in Singapore, of course, wherever you are, greetings to you. And I have also I feel the same way for them. I feel like I just feel it's a very painful experience at this point in time, because I didn't know that FTX, judging by the way that he has portrayed himself and everything, being a genius and everything, could land up in this situation. Now, I'm not sure, after doing a little bit of reading, right, the whole FTT mention kind of caused the whole collapse, right? Because a large part of Alameda Research's deal, right, a lot of the loans that were given out were in FTT, right? And the moment you have Binance deciding to dump all their FTT onto the market, right, kind of caused a large part of those loans being loaned out in FTT to deleverage, right? The value started to deleverage. And I think that a lot of companies that were acquired by FTX, like for example BlockFi, I think to a certain extent had loans as well, right, in FTT. It's a very weird way to collateralize and acquire companies. I know for a fact that when a larger entity that has a listed stock or even a more valuable stock wants to acquire another company, they do a share swap. Okay, it's pretty common even in the private equity world. So what happens is that they will use their stocks rather than cash. So it will usually be a part cash, part stocks kind of thing. And I still remember a large part of these companies, especially in crypto, right? When they were doing their ICO, because they didn't have a very successful ICO raise, they would do this amongst themselves to kind of, on the blockchain, right, to make it look like there was a successful raise. So it would be like, for example, okay, I have X amount of my crypto A. I will pump it into your ICO, right? And then I will have an X amount of your crypto, and we do a share swap. It just goes to show that, oh, okay, since my token is worth $1 and your token is worth 50 cents, I will kind of do a share swap with you. You give me that equivalent amount. I will accept your token, and you will accept my token, and we have a part stake in your company, and you have a part stake in our company. We look on paper like we had a successful ICO. It's kind of the same thing, right? It's just to bump up valuations. It's just kind of like to look good, like, wow, we can now go out there and say that we had a successful ICO. But in actual fact, it's just shit for shit, right? It's shit token for shit token. Now, of course, prior to FTT kind of dropping tremendously in terms of value, it did look successful. It did look like as if like this was gonna be a very good plan, where using FTT tokens, lesser cash, we can start acquiring very depressed companies. And that was what FTX was going about doing, right? Because you want to buy businesses, you want to buy the talent that is within those businesses. Even though they went down, there is something valuable about those businesses, and that is what FTT was doing. But I think after Binance doing this whole due diligence thing, it's not that they don't want to acquire FTX. I think there's still a lot of value buying up FTX. But the question here is, probably CZ understands that, maybe if he's going to be the top dog in the whole crypto space, like literally, if he acquires the second largest exchange in the world, right, that that makes him the top dog, and that's not like, really decentralization. I mean, he's always been an advocate of this decentralization and all that. I'm not even sure whether that's even a thing at this point of time, right? Like, no one really cares. I think everybody wants a safe place to trade their crypto. Everybody just wants a safe place. Now there's no such thing as a safe place. Like when I was speaking to my friend who lost, who is now having his token stuck on FTX, right? He was just starting to rebuild his crypto portfolio. He was involved in a scam prior to that. It was a larger part of his nest, right? His net worth, or maybe his liquid cash. He actually sold off his stocks, right? That were okay, slow and steady, to kind of do that. And he didn't know, right? He didn't know that it was a high yield investment program. It paid very generously. I'm not sure how much it was. And then after that closed down because high yield investment programs never run for very long. And it's very depressing. So right now, he just started out on FTX, because nobody can use Binance. He started out on FTX, and this happens, right? So he's very, very rejected. He doesn't know what to do, and I think a lot of people are very demoralized by the whole situation. And to be very, very frank, if I wasn't in the space as long as I was, I would too. I would step away from this whole space completely. Like nobody should have to deal with this. Like, especially someone who's very new, who's just trying to find a place to build and discover cryptocurrency. This whole space is a joke. Okay, it is really a freaking joke. As much as I would like to say, that crypto is one part of the future, right? Right now, it's not a good look at all. Like, nobody can really trust it. There's just too many scams. There's just lack of transparency. It's just a joke. Like, literally, when you watch YouTubers, right, they are not giving a proper analysis. They're just basically sponsoring tokens just to monetize their channel and of course monetize on sponsorship. Everybody needs to make a living, but I think there has to be a point where there has to be a certain level of ethical practice, right? There's zero ethical practice when it comes to making profit, and I feel that it's starting to get very, very disgusting. Of course, at some point there are other YouTubers that are calling them out, but I'm just putting out my piece out there. I just feel that the sad thing is that a lot of people in crypto, I know we all want to make profits, but also there has that disconnection. There's that disconnection from understanding how to make profits from by investing. It's not that anymore. It's more of, okay, do I have the insider information to pump and dump the token? Or right now, at this point of time, it's like you're having the whole space, especially the largest exchanges, going down left, right, and center. It's not providing any confidence at all. Like, who on earth, right, has to manage so many different layers of security, right, at one time? Now you have to, you're already trying to figure out how to use your crypto wallet safely, right, and purchase your crypto, store your crypto. Okay, that's already slightly complex to quite a lot of people because we are not used to it, right? Then after realizing, okay, then there's a whole lot. There are just basically lots of tokens to purchase, and you don't even know why you should be purchasing it. So you focus on Bitcoin, you focus on Ethereum, you focus on the top 10, but that just seems to not always be the case, right? Because you experience the whole Terra Luna, or you actually thought that, Terra Luna being one of the largest ecosystems went down because of the death spiral. Now you're having a death spiral in a exchange that could buy up stadiums or what, they just basically, I think they bought up a stadium or some shit like that. I can't remember what he purchased. Anyway, it doesn't matter anymore because this business is gone already. It's literally insolvent. It cannot even pay out the actual remainder. It's a whole bank run, right? And so this is something that we experience too often in crypto. It just happens too often that it just has to stop. So if Binance had stepped in, right, I think there would have been some kind of stability, right? But I think, then you have the crypto folks who are saying, Binance cannot be so big. If Binance is the largest player, then they can control and manipulate. But sometimes that is maybe what is required, because there's no one that is marshalling this space and controlling it And for a centralized exchange, having one big daddy is actually not a bad idea. Centralized exchange, decentralized exchange, it's a whole different topic, and that has to be completely separate, like worldwide and everything like that. But right now, this is just looking horrible. Yeah, so it's a very short article, guys. I'm looking at this point of time. I would like to hear your thoughts on the whole situation. Like, I want to go to the chat, because to me, you guys are the voice, right? Because you all are in the space, whether you're new or you're quite veteran. I think the folks in the chat are relatively veteran. I seen you guys over and over. How are you all taking it, at this point of time? Like, I want to hear from my audience also. I mean, also, if you are watching this after the live stream, feel free to comment, your overall experience. Like how are you purchasing crypto even at this point in time? Would you even purchase crypto? Like, I feel that the opportunities, like when you look at the chart, guys, we are already like, okay, I'm gonna switch to 1 week, right? So you can see how much the market has fallen. But you know what? In crypto, there's no real way to determine, right? There's no real way to determine where is the bottom. Like, you think, okay, for stocks, right? When you see stocks that are fundamentally still having some growth and marginal profits in this kind of high interest rate environment, you would think that there's definitely a way, to value it, right? There's a definite way to value it, right? Not just from a technical standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. For crypto, you cannot. There's no way that from a financial standpoint, you can determine whether this crypto is cheap enough or still too expensive. You cannot tell that. It's impossible, right? It's impossible. And that's the reason why it's so difficult. And then people who, wherever they are, they will continue to dump. It's just a massacre at this point of time. All right, so Jabari says no selling at the bottom. Yeah, so the question everybody will ask is, where is the bottom, right? Okay, so let me just catch up with the chat a little bit. Yeah, so I feel the exact same way, Todd. This is really a cleansing. Like it's very unnecessary. It's a very unnecessary way to experience a cleansing, right? Like, yes, we experience full out capitulation, total distress of the stress of the market. Like, literally, the whole market is at this point of time looking very, very bad. Like, it's so bad to the point where it's a new kind of bad. It's like a contagion. No, it's like you thought that through COVID, right? It was already bad for the world, and then after that you have the very aggressive interest rate hikes to battle inflation, and then now you have literally a whole deleveraging happening. Everyone's dying. Like, in the crypto space, like, the big boys are dying. Like, it's damn weird. Like, why are the big boys? To me, I'm thinking, you have built a business, right, to attract people to come into the space finally. You raised enough funds from VCs and institutions and, high net worth investors and everything, right? Why is it that these people could not hire the best talent to come and find a framework so that they do not default? Like, how could they reach to that stage where they cannot even operate an exchange? Who are these idiots? These are idiots, It's like you would think that, okay, like, you thought that they are one of the smartest people in the world, but clearly they are not the smartest people in the world. They are just dumb. Like, why aren't they hiring? It's like, when you look at their profiles and everything, you would think that there's a certain level of credibility, But the fact that they are all defaulting, right, it goes to show that these are fools, They do not know how to run a business at all. They do not know how to be strict. And there's some integrity issue. I guarantee you there's some integrity issue within this space. Okay, I guarantee it. So that's why when you look at any company at this point of time, I'm not sure who is even still optimistic, Like, to be optimistic is like you build a relationship with a person. Obviously, you get to know the person, right? And it's always through all these networking sessions that you would think that, this person is very sharp. He's a visionary. He thinks for the people. But when you think about it, like when they default, like how did that even come about? Like why are you using? You use tokens, right? Tokens are one of the most scariest collaterals out there. And I understand why, because that's where the money is, and it's so-called valuable at that point, right? So, for example, a lot of people will have a lot of trust in probably BNB. Like right now, like without a doubt, it's BNB, BTC, and Ethereum. But the moment when you collateralize anything and you start lending it out in those particular assets, naturally, when the whole market is tanking aggressively, because this is a risk. The whole industry in crypto is a high risk industry. Hence, when it's a high risk industry, you're having your bond or your loan, right, in a particular token. It's very risky. It should never be like that. It should at least be in a stable coin. It should at least be in a stable coin. If you want to show that you are able to lend out money, right? Lend it out with a proper loan agreement, with a proper interest, and in a stable coin. I think that's the most fair, because your own tokens, right, are clearly nowhere near valuable at this point in time. Like no one's token is like a one all be all, right? Because suddenly you have this deleveraging effect happening, and for a fact that there's a potential default always on the rise when there's a death spiral. This whole thing should just stop. It should not be like this. It should not function in such a manner. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. So. Okay. Oh. Okay. So Frankie Liang says that Tesla USD on FTX was above $80. It was $80 above market. Oh wow. Okay. I think okay. So for a fact that So I have not used FTX myself. At least I don't use it, because at that point, I just was not. I'm not in the mood to actually do any kind of trading. But I'm always looking out on the market and following it very consistently. And to me, buying stocks, you still want to buy from licensed brokerages, and I think literally just stick to the old school stuff. And I think I have to say this, but I feel that at this point of time, people should start looking at diversifying away from crypto, and try to look at fundamentally sound companies, like literally a way to ascertain. And I know that there are a lot of good deals out there. Like for example, I see for a fact that Tesla is starting to look very attractive. Tesla is also now like literally has dropped a lot ever since its stock split. You have Facebook, right? Facebook also technically is already below it's literally at one of its all-time lows. It's below. I think it just went above $100 just yesterday, right? Meta, sorry, not Facebook, but Meta. And I think like Amazon, companies like this, and there are gonna be very good deals in the equity market. I'm pretty certain, but I think it's coupled for the fact that I think midterm election results are going to be announced soon. That's also very jittery, because you don't know what kind of new policies are going to come out from whichever side wins. And that's one thing. I'm not into US politics, so please forgive me. I may not know what I'm talking about, but you guys who are in the US know what I'm talking about. That kind of caused the jitters in the market as well. And this is a very good time to flush out literally everybody. Like right now, like you don't like this is a massacre, right? Since this is a massacre of the exchanges, right? The titans, right? Yeah, this is the best time to just like cause everyone to go away, and then when things are cheap enough, right? The masses will come back again. It's very normal. It's very weird, right? Human beings will always hunt for adventure. There's no way that there's just no way that people will stay away from crypto, because human beings, right? We need to eat. So no matter what, even though how full we feel, we will always come back because we're hungry, right? We are just hungry for adventure. I guarantee you, it may not be the same. It doesn't have to be the same person. Okay, it doesn't have to be the same person. But the moment you notice that, okay, because you're still working, I think a large part of us now are a little bit more savvy. We're not gonna quit our jobs to do crypto full time. Nobody's gonna do that, except me. And you're gonna have people who will start being interested in the space, because it's a cycle. It's a very disgusting cycle. And I sincerely, as someone who has been part of it, I just feel that it's very disgusting. I cannot say that I cannot say that I'm optimistic. I just feel that it's a very bad look when exchanges are going down. Projects can fail. Okay, to be frank, why projects can fail? Because it's a startup. A startup has so many things running, right? And so many things that are uncertain, market forces and all that. But yeah, an exchange is also a startup, to be fair. But I feel that as an exchange, you should have thought a little bit harder and a little bit deeper, because you're accepting billions, hundreds of millions to billions of customers' money, data, right? And all you had to do was build and keep the funds safe. All you had to do was keep the funds safe. You had only a few things to do. Market it, show that you are secure, you are a place of trust, and make sure you have a great user experience. You had to just focus on that. You didn't have to go and get aggressive and start trading the customers' funds. You really did not have to do that, because that's not your job. Your job is to become profitable by earning exchange fees from people doing exchange fees. From there, you charge them on withdrawals if you want to. You want to start some kind of campaign, any product that gives you a small margin of profit, that is what you earn. And you build it over the long time. You don't take the customer's funds and go and start doing high leverage trading in your proprietary trading team. You did not have to do that. The other thing that you had to do was, obviously, if you were small, you wanted to lend to a larger entity and hope that that larger entity didn't bust your ass by doing exactly what you're not doing. That's also a sad thing, right? Because that was exactly what happened to ZipMax. ZipMax lent their money to Babel, and then from then, Babel Finance basically started doing proprietary trading doing it illegally. That was what happened. So this is something that, it's a very frustrating thing. It's a very frustrating thing at this point in time. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. And a lot of trust has been thrown down the drain. I wouldn't be surprised that nobody ever talks about crypto. And they have every right to not trust the space. They have every right, because when I look at this space, everybody who says that it wants to go to zero, companies will go down, Bitcoin's gonna go to zero. They have every right to do so, because we have not shown that as a people and as people within the space, they are doing a good job. They have not. And you know what? If I was put in that position, I think the integrity of the person is very important. The moral compass is very important, because you want to make money, right? Because everybody else is making crazy money by doing this. You get influenced. This is probably what I suspect also, because, hey, I'm doing this, with the funds, But what we do is we set up a separate entity that nobody needs to know about. We start doing withdrawals from within, right? But as long as we pay out the rewards, right, the earnings, right, from the staking, I think everything is fine. So you see, guys, you start to think. You have to think a little bit deeper how these exchanges are going to function. Same thing, if from the very get-go, right, a DeFi platform says that it functions this way, right, that means you're going in eyes wide open. And if anything goes wrong internally, it's okay, because you have to accept the fact that this is happening. But an exchange doesn't share all this with you. An exchange will have its suite of services and what it's doing, right, on the webpage. And if it doesn't state that they are doing proprietary trading, right, if it doesn't state that they're doing proprietary trading, that means they're not being very honest. So you kind of want to avoid such things going forward. You want to avoid these kind of exchanges. This is very, very true. Anyway, guys, I just feel that at this point of time, you even if you want the dollar cost average, I suggest coming back next, like literally, you might want to come back next year, like, because I still feel that the market has a ton more to drop. Like but there's no other large entity that I think can fall already. I really feel that there's no large entity that can fall already. Like let's say for example the Winklevoss, right? The Winklevoss twins. There's Coinbase, which is Mr. Armstrong, and then there's Binance, there's CZ. There's just these three main dudes already. And then let's not talk about the smaller players within each and every individual country. Those are small players. They can and eventually may want to step up, but I'm not sure whether or not they have the same, when they reach that stage, right, of critical mass of clients and customer base, will they be as honorable as well? I really don't know. It's very hard to tell at this point in time. And I don't want to speak too soon anymore, because speaking too soon and trying to anticipate and predict the market is quite pointless, because every time you try to predict and you think, and that's why I don't do predictions, and that's why I've been cutting down on videos, because doing predictions is one of the dumbest things. It's like buying those American magazines where you kind of want to gossip, you want to like try to tell the future. I never get involved in those kind of stuff, because I always felt it was damn stupid. Like, to me, like, I feel that the market needs to go through this period, burn people. You see, I will always remember this. For me, I will always remember this, because I'm part of this journey, right? So I will always remember, like, for example, whatever happened in 2016, whatever happened in 2017, 2018, up till today, right? I've been around all the time. I've been around all the time. I'm not like, I've never stepped away from the market, guys. It's just that I don't do enough content, and I don't feel that I need to. But like I said, I address it when I need to address it. And right now, at this point of time, exchanges are starting to drop left, right, and center. And these are exchanges that have purchased actual monuments, okay? Like, you still have crypto.com, but crypto.com to me is not a trading platform. It's a way of people to use crypto as a payment, a form of payment. Yes, you can do staking and earning conservatively and all that, and there's some way to use your crypto to buy stuff. I totally understand, but it's not a proper trading platform. It's not like you can set limit buy orders. There's no way that you can engage, use the futures. There's really very, very, very little ways of strategizing buying crypto other than, you do dollar cost averaging, longing, or shorting. It's very challenging at this point in time. It's not the same. So I wanna like wrap off and end off, folks. I think at this point of time, staying away from the market ain't such a bad idea. But I feel that if you still have the risk tolerance and you still feel that crypto is the way to go, dollar cost averaging at very minimal amounts. We're talking about amounts that are no different from you going out there for a random meal on a Friday night to maybe instead of buying sneakers, right? Maybe buying sneakers ain't such a bad idea. Like, at least you get a pair of sneakers. This, you can have your amount vaporized in a matter of like 1 or 2 days. Like, look at what happened to FTT, guys. If you decided to buy FTT, what is this shit? Look at this shit. Support level $22, right? Support level $22, only to be at $2 today. What a joke. Right, like, what a joke is what kind of joke is this? Like, okay, and this is a weekly chart, guys. It's a weekly chart, Weekly chart, you say, oh, okay, looks stable, right? So many weeks already. What are we talking about? Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait, what is this? This is from, yeah. So you see, look, it's from June, right? Almost close to 6 months at $22. Suddenly, it drops 90%. You're better off buying sneakers. You're better off buying and splurging on that bomber jacket that costs, anywhere from $300 to $5,000. Yeah, maybe it's just better to do that. Maybe it's just better to just take a holiday with the family. At least you get to share that experience with everybody. Now you're just sharing this experience by yourself. Obviously feeling miserable, buying at $20, $21. I heard people buying at $15, thinking that it was the low, that it will bounce back, and that it'll be a savior. And then this happens now. Right? I mean, everybody takes a punt, lah. To me, I think it's like going to Vegas, going to the casino and having fun. But you know, if you're having the mindset about having fun, this is really the place. Crypto is the place to have fun. Okay, like literally, it's one of the most degenerate places. Like if you at one point, if you wanted to do NFTs, you could do NFTs. Those was exactly degen 100%. Like that was it. But right now, I am personally looking at, okay, the whole DeFi tokens. I'm looking at DeFi tokens again. I'm looking at Aave. I'm definitely looking at PancakeSwap. I'm looking at Uni, of course, right? Matic. I'm just following the news. You know what's happening with Matic. What kind of progress they've been doing pretty well from a fundamental standpoint. But you see, also fundamentally they couldn't hold up, right? But they are looking once again relatively attractive, because technically they whatever speculation of their whole meta using them as a toolkit, right, to do NFTs is gone already, right? So all the speculation is gone. And then Polkadot being Polkadot, all right, and of course BNB, right? Like right now there's only so few choices, guys. It's starting to get thinned down. That it's easier to make choices. But of course, like I said, there's no such thing as going all in anymore. There's no point, because all in only gives you situations like what just happened. Like you're seeing Bitcoin at a new low. Look. So you see? Remember so back in 2018, you have the market at $6,500. Okay? This is it. See, it's gonna go lower. So this was I think here. Yes, okay, so wait, let me try to pull the chart. So this is this, So this is this point where you thought 6,005, you thought 6,005 was the low, and then poop, it drops to 3,000. I think many of you can still remember this, because you thought that this was the low and this happened, right? So this is probably going to happen here as well. Okay, so 20k is no longer the support already. There's no support already, right? So we're going to go lower. You're going to see probably 12,000 BTC. And the question is, how much further does the market want to drop? Like 12,000 BTC is definitely going to happen already, especially after this. It's going to happen, guys. It's just a matter of when only. You think Solana also gets wiped out because of its relationship to FTX? That's a very good question. Yeah, a lot of people bought into Solana, right? Because of FTX, being the whole NFT marketplace. Like I said, NFT is not profitable anymore at this point of time. So they're not generating anything. It's like all BS, right? There's literally nothing really pumping. Like to me, like at this point of time, who have bought NFTs, right? Actual rich kids who don't really give a shit, right? They spend money on anything and everything anyway. So it doesn't matter. They're just holding, right? So the projects are going to survive. But as a marketplace, right? As a Solana marketplace, there has to be still a marketplace, because if majority of the projects are in Sol, right? Most of the minting is done in Sol. Then where are they going to liquidate? So that's actually going to probably cause a large part of folks who are holding any Solana NFT to liquidate, because it gets scary, right? Because if let's say this is actually happening, right? So I'm not following the NFT space, because I don't feel that the NFT space is mature enough. So at this point of time, you're gonna see people liquidate their NFTs that are Solana based, right? And there has to be a place. The only place should be the Solana NFT, or I think Magic Eden or something like that. Then I'm not sure whether you can liquidate on OpenSea. If you can liquidate on OpenSea, at least there's some place to liquidate, and there may be certain projects that I feel that may have some kind of community that they can hold together. I am very doubtful. I'm very doubtful on whatever I'm saying, because like I said, it's not mature enough to make that statement, right? So whether Sol is wiped out, well, let's see the Sol prices, right? I can't comment, because I am not someone who is into Solana and everything. Like see, so it's experiencing kind of the same thing, right? If they are not in the same situation where kind of like Alameda Research kind of purchased Solana, if Alameda Research purchased majority of Solana, and it's the same thing, it's binded by the whole FTT tokens also, there's that share swap thing, then yes, they are in trouble. Okay, straight up, they are in trouble, right? If there's that whole soul swapping, soul swap for FTT kind of thing, then it's the same thing, right? Because both tokens are dropping simultaneously, correct? So the loans don't make sense already. The valuations of the companies don't make sense. And at the same time, crypto projects are weird in a way that, they could actually still come back to life. Because after all, if let's say it's still a program at the end of the day, it's just a matter of having the people run the ship, right? What kind of people are running the ship, and whether there's any funding left within whatever foundation or reserves left to rebuild and restructure. It is a possibility, right? Because maybe the technology within the company is still sound. It's just that the people running it are not, right? So you can't throw away the whole ship just because the crew is sucky, right? But that's the way the whole thing works, right? Okay, so yeah, there's nothing much here left to say. I've already spoken my piece. Binance walking away at this point of time, gives the space some opportunity for other companies to step in, to kind of see whether they want to salvage this, or would they want to rebuild. I think rebuilding is one of the most challenging things. Like, to rebuild, it's still better to restructure. In my opinion, right? If there was anyone who would come and step in and restructure, it has to be now. I think by anyone who has the ability to buy up FTX's business model and business plan, right? Buy it up, find a new CEO, find a new team, right? Rerun and rebuild. Okay, I tell you the whole. Okay, it's very challenging because right now the whole reputation is tarnished already. So you're gonna have a very long burn rate. Okay, you're gonna have a very long burn rate in this business. Okay, because to rebuild now, and you think, regain customer confidence, whether or not there'll be people coming back in, people still need a place to trade. Okay, eventually, let it cool off for the next 6 months, maybe a year, but people still need a proper place to trade. I felt that FTX's overall interface, at least in terms of what they can offer, isn't too bad. Okay, but I felt that the liquidity was very poor. That could have been improved. But other than that, right, the whole user experience isn't that bad. I still prefer Binance. 100% I still prefer Binance because I've been using Binance for a very long time. But I think for a fact that FTX was a very, very reasonable close second. Very sadly, this is the situation. But whoever decides to take over, if they even decide to take over, they have a very, very good vessel. They have a very, very good vessel. It's only about putting the right talent and people into this ship. And it's gonna be big shoes. It's gonna be big shoes to fill. There's gonna be a lot of hate. It takes huge balls to be the CEO of this company. But you know what? Whoever decides to do this, I wish them the best of luck. And of course, to us in the space, guys, this is basically to wrap up the video. Stay safe. Keep your tokens or whatever that you feel that is valuable in your cold wallet. And I'll see you in the next live stream. Peace out.